It's really a fantastic exhibition. Saw service all the way through up to the First World War, through the First World War. Even was commissioned for battle. It rammed the sub, sank it, and went back into, you all know the Titanic, disastrous maiden voyage from Southampton to New York. Alright guys, so here we go, coming up just here on the left is the Nomadic, that's the tender I was talking about, the last White Star Line ship, and then the Titanic Museum here, and you can see how it's shaped like the front, the bow of the ship. Really, really great design. And you can obviously, when you're finished at the museum, take a walk over, have a look at the Nomadic, have a walk around the whole Titanic quarter. There's lots of sort of public art, lots of things to do in the sea. You can have a walk down there, for instance. It's a really nice place to have a walk around. Imagine the Titanic docked up just there on the left-hand side.
Once the ship raced through the keel blocks, they set big wooden blocks on the slipway to start with. Then the keel is top of it, like a backbone. Hold up to the catcher, and he put it in the hole in the plate with the holder up. There were two of us on the other side of the plate with the holder up. We had to hammer the rivet so it filled the hole before it turned dull red. That's a wee space we called the tanks, made up of steel plates. The rest of the rivet squad all had to fit into that gap. I get scared working 31 bob a week. The heater boy and catcher get 16 bob, but we all work the same 54 hours.
city. Interesting, you know, the dollar bill and the, you know what I mean? And then, so it's that and Shipbuild of Harland and Wolff. That's the name of the shipyard. They work, we use them in oil rigs. But you look at the name up on the back, on the flat, it's an irony of Belfast that we have them. And I'll tell you why in a moment. Why? Because we got them after the Second World War. The music, gigs, yeah? But it's the last one. Because 100 bombers, airplanes came to Belfast. They started behind those cranes. They first killed 400 women on the first pass, 407, a cinema complex and a concert hall for our children. Because our children are the people who really suffered. 30 years, man, we're very guilty, you know, a full generation. Because of our wine. Small Irishmen with red hair, drunk on Guinness, running around on ice with big sticks. It's not a good idea. Right? But our kids love the Jersey courthouse. The next one is the courthouse we had up until the year 2000. Look on the right. 4.5 foot thick bomb-proof walls. Protecting the judges and the witnesses and everything else. Patrolled by army and police. Why? Because we were in a war situation. Now we've moved to that. Now you see what the symbol is. We're just Victorian open market they have on the islands here. This is why all Northern Ireland people, where I come from, we come in on a Sunday to go in there. That's our marketplace. That's what we've done for years. That's what attracts us to Belfast, yeah? Big marketplace, all stuff, you know. They all try to be European in there. They put a bit of cream on top of a coffee. You could buy a coffee. Think about it. Why would you be, you'd have some infrastructure to have to build the biggest ship in the world and have all the tapestry to look after. Well, we're turning right and going to go once or what they did then, when they gave the tax break, how are we going to help? How are we going to look after her? They built a city hall. They knocked their linen, a little linen exchange, they drowned it. It took 10 years to draw this building. When it was drawn, a copy was sent across the world to Durban in South Africa within Old Town and Park, and then you know we called it Queen's House. Here on the right hand side is something you'd never see in the south of Ireland. Why? We didn't go to war in the south. Mayor of every town of England, Scotland, Wales and the south of Ireland came up to see her. Because she was a one-off, she was Empress, she wasn't a Queen only. Yeah? Now, here we are. When I came here in 1960-foot screen over here on the right, facing down, and we show 40-foot, huge screen. We show free movies, to our Disney movies to our kids on Sundays, to get them into the city. Yeah, because kids are the most important thing to us. As I said to you, we're guilty that we maybe didn't look after everything so well. So we're very, you know, we're very aware of that. Now we're going to pull into the right. Right. On top, all the names are on the other side, facing the building of the 1500. That big grey right to left plinth. If you ask me, Jim, who are these people? And I'm going to tell you when we're at the university. What did Roosevelt do? He sent 300,000 troops here. Second World War. I'm from Cork. We love breaking laws. The rebel Cork. Anyway, now I'm 60. I don't care anymore. You gotta go there. Anyway, why did I stop here? Look at the name. Ulster is the region. Remember, there's 4 regions in Ireland. And we're going towards the university. Why? Because Queen Victoria came to Belfast, saw the city hall. We'll notice all the names of the pubs are changed. We've changed the Leprechaun to Pug Uglies. That's the kids who are in charge. My daughter, 25 years of age, we don't like her. Look what they named my pub. Remember, they've got the Dirty Onion, the Thirsty Goat, no Irish name. They've ruined my story. It's no longer a romantic story now. 7 of us went for drinks to Filthy McNasty's and I met my wife. It's not very... But it is reasonably heavy traffic. I'm very informed. It's not normal. But anyway, we're going straight up Market Crusader. Right up. And here's an Irish one for you. We'll go straight up, but I'd stay on the left. So straight up the street there. Yeah. Through the lights. Yeah, and you'll see that there's people turning right. We're not going to be turning right. So, now we're going to see this gorgeous building, and with the sunshine and the students not there, it's worth looking at. Yeah? Onwards. churches, bars, everything is owned by the university. And they're the largest landlord we have in Belfast. So, because our parliament keeps on top of it, they keep the rents for our students down. We've our own independent parliament here, separate than anywhere. Yeah? You're into one of them. You get private education all the way to university. And we've the highest educational points. They totally tell you, this is our Queen's University. Isn't it stunning? If you had come from London, anywhere here, Marcy, and what we want to do is off. There's nobody here. It's all summer. I love it. Now, we're going to stop here. Yeah? Brilliant. Okay, guys, Queen's University, right? Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Wait, just one thing. Remember I told you about the Ego Belfast? If you were in London yesterday and arrived here now, you'd look at that and go, Oxford. Exactly. They tried to make it look. They named their sons after. The 40s of those guys who went up and into the mountains over generations, hillbillies. Why? Because their name was Billy, but they forgot what them. How did they do over there? 27 years ago, myself and others, 5 others actually, in that university were part of maybe 30 teams putting together data to your war. And to have a peace process, you need to know the depth of the other so you can shake hands on something. So we found them, we went over there. What did we find? 50 years after they arrived, they were throwing tea into Boss battle against a guy called Ferguson, a British general, and killed Scots Irish out of them. These guys who could only fire a rifle and wore a raccoon hat. Because he said they were all could read at the age of 12 the Bible. Why? Because I need a man who can read orders and write them. Who weren't killed were generals and officers in the Civil War. When we found out who they were, we become whole. Why? That's the DNA. Let me tell you who they are. Ulysses S. Grant on one side, thousands would die for the land on John F. Kennedy. 14. And 2 afterwards. The last, Clinton, Scots Irish. And by the way, it's in the water. Who do you think is Chancellor of that university? Hillary Clinton. It's in the water, Guinness and Patrick's Day. Right? What are these other guys? They dissipated. They actually became Americans through and through. They just went everywhere. They don't have a flag. But they're more than Irish and Scottish dance smiths. Irish teachers from the south of Ireland. Who are these people? In Belfast, they also had something unique. They had the only printing press outside London. That Europa Hotel is the most famous hotel we have in Belfast. It's the most bombed hotel in the world. It was bombed 31 times between 1960 and we did that in 1916. And let me tell you the effects it had here. Before I do, look right. This is the old centre of Belfast. That's the centre's point. That's a church. And left again. Wow. Yeah. At the colourful wall. They go up to the colourful. Turn right. We'll stop. So guys, what happened here? Why did it all go wrong? My grandfather rose up in 1916. In the IRA in the south. We rose up in Dublin. No. They draw that border. And we would be, they would remain special. Right? Now, they had just built the Titanic for their sake. 1912, 4 years before that. But what would they do here in 1916 when the Irish in the south were rousing up on my grandfather? They do exactly the opposite. They'd get in boats. Why? World War I was on. Why would it go wrong? Still no reason for it to become bitter and annoyed. Because they never trusted Dublin. In our parliament here, like a little state of Westminster, you wouldn't trust the south. Why? Because our constitution says there's a special place for the Catholic Church. And also, because it says it's the capital of Ireland, we'll be turning, we go into you can't. Yeah, we don't want to get too close to the heart. Just because it's in traffic. Just forgive it. So why? Now you think here, you're sitting here, there's a border. South of Ireland is green where these live. You're on the Falls Road of Belfast, all things Irish. It reaches all the way up there and back for miles. We're going to go through a set of gates. I'm going to show you how close the families live. When we go through the gates, you'll see it here. The wheels of the bus will move from green, white and gold to neutral. In no man's land, we're going with. And you see how easy it was to, by mistake, be on the wrong side. Because these side of the wall. Okay, yeah. Very, very grateful. We needed anybody from the outside who could put a stamp of peace on that wall. You know? Or on the whole ridiculousness of it. Because it's very sad. Very sad. We're out of it now. Somebody said to me, the only time you know, look left. That was our checkpoint, Charlie. See that wall? Yeah. And if you want to see a symbol, remember I say you're in the city of symbols, how it emerges out of the water. Look left. Look at the new building. What is it? It's a women's centre for peace in a family. Fall out with the mother and you'll fall out with everyone. So, we're going to go down the British line, and they've still got their flags up from the coronation. We're going down what they call the Shankill Scots Irish. You're in the Scots Irish centre flags and the poppy. Now, if you look down the centre of the coach, this is all for the coronation. If you look down, guys, yeah? Now on the left you've got we have our IRA, our armed groups. But none of those are new now, they're fading, thank God. And the important parts you see on this street, is what's coming up on the right hand side, is the Memorial Garden. This Memorial Garden is the Royal Irish here on the right, and the new crosses in it are those people who were unfortunately killed in Afghanistan, here on the right. Because remember, you're in the home of the Royal Irish Regiments. If you want to look on the right, here we have the Ulster Tower. That's a photograph, actually, of a tower that's out near the Battle of the Somme, World War I. Now look left, we're passing a pub. Look at a pub, you always figure how people think in working class area. Look down left. What do you see in the middle of the pub? A memorial to World War I and the poppies. Now, this is where this is funny, I think, or depending how you look at it. Look left on the gable end of the building, the Queen, and look right, the new King. And this is the only one in the whole of the UK on a gable wall. And it tells you how their culture is. That's who they are, man. This is their culture to the core. And on the right, a terrible memorial, because everybody went backwards and forward with bombs. And my God, we did terrible damage to one another. And the UVF went the other side. Now you might, now we're finished, thank goodness. We have 25 years of peace. And our children, I always notice, small things. What do we do now? Well, the first thing we addressed, all the way, and we'll be turning right over the hill, down to the lights, over the hill and down. what trainers and replaced 14,000 policemen by offering them full pensions, large handshake, and their mortgages sorted. Yep, they took it, and we replaced it with 14,000. As my daughter says, Dad, 12 vacancies last year. You needn't apply unless you've got a map. They're not English, they're not Brussels, they're from... Knock yourself out, brother. Yeah? And there you go. It's quite amazing. I wonder, could it be done elsewhere in the world? When you think of who came here and gave this to us, maybe mirrors should be put up to people and say, well, you did it here, why can't it be done elsewhere in the world? That's how we think of Belfast, but then again, we've got an ego, you know? We believe we can do it. Okay? You want to walk into town, you'll get your cafes open until reasonably late, okay? Like the afternoon, you're in the afternoon now. They'll all be open here on the right hand side. Do you see them? This is the side of the city hall. You guys are only about 2 or 3 streets up. And if you want cafes down any of the streets opposite, when you see the city hall, look at Queen Victoria out the front. Opposite her is our main street. And down there, first right, is Victoria Shopping Centre. Fabulous place to visit. And over, if you go down that end of that main street, it's for the kids, it's for the cathedral quarter, right? Our main street isn't long. You could go down there, no bother, and have dinner there if you want. But there's a place locally to you, right? Fish City to the first person you meet, and they go down there. Do you know what I mean? It's easier, you know. Or follow your nose. Oh, Jesus. I nearly died on the last leg there. So guys, do you see how close you are to the city hall? You're
Down, last time, tickets 15.